Hey all, this is Software Focus, and today we're going back to basics with Camtasia. You don't want to miss this. Today's episode will be focused on the zoom and pan animations available within Camtasia during editing. To start, I'm going to pull something onto the timeline so we can demonstrate properly how zoom and pan animations work. Alright, with our test media here, we'll go to animations on the left side. It's about halfway down when the list is fully expanded. Clicking on it will reveal the animations pane. And by default it'll be under zoom and pan. We'll handle animations under a different video. Zoom and pan is a simplified but still a little complex process when it comes to animation. It's simple in the fact that it is what you see is what you get. You have this little demonstrator window with manipulation dots around the edge, and grabbing onto those allows you to change on your canvas and in your final video where your focus is. So for example, say I want to focus in on this lower right corner. I go up to zoom and pan in the pane on the left. I grab the upper left manipulation dot, I click and drag, and you'll see that as I drag, the canvas is zooming in and showing this change. And this area that's now selected is what the video will focus on and what the final video will be. You can confirm that by looking at your canvas. You see the canvas window, and then you see this grayish darker area. That is outside of your workspace, outside of your canvas, and this will not be included in your video. Now if we look down in the timeline, I need to zoom in a little bit because I put it right at the beginning, we have this arrow. And this arrow demonstrates when the animation begins, so when it's going to start zooming in to that corner, when it ends, and how long it takes to do it. So you can extend this arrow, and the longer the arrow, the longer it will take to perform the zoom. The shorter the arrow, the quicker it'll take. And as I mentioned, its position here on the media also affects when it begins and ends. So right now the zoom in animation is going to start roughly 11 frames into the video, but say I want it to start at a second, and as I drag it I get this little pop-up that says start time and a duration. So right now it's set to start at the 1 second mark and last for 26 frames. And so if I play this back from the beginning, and then we zoom in, and it will stay that way until I apply either a different animation or I tell it this scale to fit option, and that will scale the zoom to fit the media that was on the canvas. So if I hit scale to fit, I get a quick and easy way to revert back to how it began. A new arrow is placed down on the timeline indicating the animation to zoom back out to what it was. So if I bring it back and play it, we zoom in, we come back out. Now this can be more than just a zoom in. It can be a zoom in and slide. So let me demonstrate by moving this arrow down here. And so right now we're focused in that corner, but say I want to, at this point here on the timeline, move to the left side, and you'll see there are little guide marks in the zoom and pan window indicating when I'm at the edge of the media. If I go too far, it'll start putting a black space in the video. So remember, keep in mind that this gray box, this gray line, indicates the edge of your video canvas. This is not video, this is video. So it's good practice to make sure that you have everything aligned so you don't get those black bars. And so now I have it move from that right corner to the left, and I don't want it to start immediately after we finish the zoom into the right corner, so if I drag it down, and I'll set it to start at 2 seconds 15 frames. Then if I go back to the beginning, we'll see how it behaves. So we zoom in, we move over to the left, and then we come back out. There are also two other options here. We have an actual size, which does somewhat what scale to fit does, except it doesn't affect the position of the media. Scale to fit will resize the media to fit the canvas at 100%, but it will also make sure that the canvas, it will also make sure the media stays centered on the canvas. If you do actual size, it resizes both the canvas and the media, but the positioning of the media does not change. It stays offset like it was in the zoom. You can get the same effect by using the zoom slider. So I'm over here, if I just do a zoom in, it's zooming in directly at the center rather than the side. But I can more easily determine, well, this I want to go to 200% zoom just to get a nice clean in there, and it'll stay there. Now if I move down further, I can pull it back. Now another thing, this first one, say I don't want to go to the lower right corner like I had it set, I want to go to the upper right corner. Now I could, select this, delete it, and make a new one, or if I click on the far right end of the arrow where it's a white dot, if I click it, it'll turn red. With that turned red, I can then grab the box in the zoom and pan preview window and drag it up, and I just edited that transition. So if I play it back, instead of going to the lower right, it goes to the upper right like I told it to. This is one of those things where I do recommend playing with it. It's fairly intuitive and easy once you get into it and you understand how it works. Me demonstrating it to you hopefully has provided a little insight on how zoom and pan animations work, but your best experience is through trial and error. That about covers it for zoom and pan animations. This has been Software Focus. If you like this video, hit that like button, or click subscribe to join the channel for future videos. If you have any feedback or ideas for future videos, please leave a comment down below. Keep focusing.